This is the week. This is the week to begin something that will nourish your life, something that will nurture you, and something that you are ready and willing to begin. Hello and welcome. This is the Astrology of the Week Ahead podcast. I'm your host, Chani Nicholas, and in this episode, we're talking about the week of July 1st. Now, if you were going to take one note for this week, one thing away from this podcast, I want it to be this, that on July 5th, we're having a new moon in Cancer, and it is really sweet. It's really beneficial, and it wants to help us, again, begin something in our life. Now, this new moon is one that's good because it's sitting in Cancer, because it's happening in the sign that the moon does really well in. And it's sitting with Venus, the planet of love and beauty. And you can think of Venus like honey, like something sticky, like something that is a bit of a magnet and that is able to bring to it what it desires. So therefore, this is a new moon that is really good at nurturing something into being. And the more you desire the thing, the better the outcome will be. It also has the properties of sweetness and beauty and connective qualities in it because Venus is sitting right there. And extra bonus, it is not being maltreated. It's not being side-eyed. It's not being interfered with any other planet. There's nothing else in the sky in any kind of major way that's doing anything that is going to impede the success of it. So if we look at astrology as a way of timing our life, which is what I do, it's how I use astrology, it's how our business uses astrology, it's how we do everything in our life. Basically, it is about a quality of time. And so we want to know, what's the quality of time? Is it a mixed situation, which most moments are fairly mixed? Or is it a pretty difficult situation, a difficult quality of time? Or is it a quality of time that does something helpful? And I am saying this Friday, July 5th, has the qualities in it that will help to bring about something that is good for you, good for the people that receive it, and also just something that is good to do. Maybe it's even fun to do or pleasurable to do. It's got Venus in the mix. So it's also a good time to think about beauty and how nourishing beauty can be, or how you are nourished by beauty, and bringing things into your life, into your space, into whatever it is you're trying to manifest or make happen that are about beauty and connection. Because why else would we do something? What's going to motivate us to stay the course with anything in our life if there's no beauty or friendship or sweetness or harmony or anything that's delightful about that thing? And so Venus is here to both help us, to both say, this is a good new moon to work with, because not all new moons are made equal. And it's also something that is signaling that this is a time to really embrace everything that is beautiful and sweet in your surroundings and incorporate it into this thing that you want to start or begin or do. And I don't mean to say we have to do something with every new moon, because the last thing I think any of us need is to add another thing to our list. So if that is what it feels like, if you're like, oh my God, Chani, I don't have time to do another thing or to start another thing. I've already got too many projects. I hear you, and I'm the same. This is just a really good moment to remember the power of nourishing yourself, to remember how differently you show up when you have taken the time to give yourself the water and the sleep and the clothing and the treats and the whatever that make you feel good. And because this is a new moon in Cancer, and because basically we only have one new moon in Cancer a year, every once in a blue moon, not really a blue moon, but anyways, we'll have, two moons, 2 full or 2 new moons in the same sign in a row, but it's very rare. So basically, this is our 1 new moon in Cancer for 2024, because it's not going to happen again this year. That has the good properties in it. That is, it's good because it's in Cancer. It's good because it's with Venus. And it's good because it's nothing else is impeding it. Nothing else is getting in its way. Everything else in the sky is basically helping it. So we're being helped here. Or the conditions, the moment of time is a quality where it's like, yeah, the quality of time is like, go for it. Start something. And so start, literally plant some seeds. Literally, figuratively, plant any kind of seed of like, I want to talk to myself. Like, I want my inner dialogue to be nurturing. I want to nurture my friendships. This is what I want to begin with this new moon. I want to begin a quarterly dinner party series. I want to do something that is going to foster connection, beauty, relationship, and nourishment in my life and in my world, because obviously everything is more fun and more prosperous and more worth doing if it's for more than just ourselves. So thinking about how whatever it is you're beginning this week can help to foster more good in the world. Good isn't really the word that I want to use. It's more like what's going to foster more delight and more justice, more equality, because again, it's Venus. Good can feel like purity culture, like white supremacist culture. But what we really mean is that the conditions are good for growing anything that we want, because Cancer also is the sign of the parent, is the sign of gestation, is the sign of the waters of life. We can think about it in that way. It's really about bringing life into being by giving it the protective waters and nourishment that the thing needs, that the being needs, that whatever it is we're wanting to bring into being needs in order to exist in the world. And those are the conditions of this new moon. So you can work with the new moon by working on the day of the new moon. You can also use that day, use Friday the 5th, to just like meditate on what that would be for you, and then see what you're inspired to move into action around. Okay, this is not the only thing that's happening this week. There are 700 things that happen on Tuesday. We're not going to feel all of them. It's a bit of a mishmash, but I want to go through them. And then there's also something quite intense that happens on Wednesday. So before we get to the new moon, there are these things going on. On Tuesday, we have Neptune stationing retrograde. Now, Saturn just stationed retrograde. They're both in Pisces. So now everything in Pisces is retrograde, which means it's not the end of the world. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing that happens with planets that move really slowly. They're going to both be retrograde at the same time at some point in the year, most likely. So it means, however, that the part of your chart that contains Pisces is under review. And we talked a lot about that last week. We talk about it this week in your weekly readings, but it's a going back over. Now, Neptune, as it stations retrograde or direct, also pulls focus. When Neptune pulls focus, we're thinking about the ideal. We're thinking about compassion. We are thinking about the fantasy or the dream, right? And Saturn's also there. Saturn is also retrograding through this sign newly. And Saturn is about how do we manifest or make real that dream. On the same day, on Tuesday, Mercury makes a trine to Neptune. So on Tuesday, part of Tuesday, a little bit of Tuesday, Mercury wants to talk about the dream. Mercury wants to talk about what it's been fantasizing about. Mercury wants us to talk about the ideal image or the ideal idea that we want to see come true. So it's a good day to have conversations about things that are possibly far out given our circumstances and our conditions in this world and what our reality is. But there's no way to get to liberation. There's no way to get to a new world without being absolute dreamers. And Tuesday has some of that really good dreaming energy. Then Mercury moves right into Leo on Tuesday. And so the conversation shifts. And on Wednesday, Mercury is going to make an opposition with Pluto. So basically, there's also this other through line, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd say Thursday, even a little into Friday, but definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There are conversations that go really deep. It's excellent for research. It's excellent for sleuthing out the truth. And it's excellent for getting underneath the niceties of everyday life. This is about going into the subterranean realm and getting to the facts and data that have been withheld. So we might see an expose out in the world. We might see the uncovering of something out in the world. And because Mercury is in Leo, it might also be a little dramatic. Now, as all that's going on, still Tuesday, but again, we're going to feel things throughout Tuesday, Wednesday. The sun makes a square to the nodes, and this marks the absolute in-between halftime of eclipse season, so that there will be eclipses 3 months from now, and the sun is signaling that kind of situation. There was eclipses 3 months ago. There will be 3 months from now. We're in the in-between. So we might notice, I talked about this a little last week, we might notice that things are being referenced 2-3 months from now a lot, and they're being referenced also about 3 months ago. And because it's the sun, we might think about the crossroads or the jam that leaders are in, because the sun is about leadership. So we might notice that certain leaders that might be running for certain seats in office might be in a moment of needing to adjust or needing to make a decision or needing to deal with a moment that feels a little precarious. And also Venus makes a trine to Saturn on Tuesday. This is all happening on Tuesday. And that's really lovely for solidifying pleasures, making a plan with our besties, buying tickets to the show, putting the thing in our calendar that is going to be most likely beautiful or lovely or delightful or sweet, or being like, yes, let's go out on a date. This is the date. This is the date for the date. Tuesday is good for making the date for the date. Okay. Then we've got Wednesday, the deep conversation that will probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So make note of what's coming up and what you're needing to rehash. And maybe it's a good time to go to therapy or talk to your trusted mentor person that helps you process things mentally, intellectually. And then on Friday, we've got the new moon. The thing that happens alongside the new moon, it's not really connected to the new moon, really. But Mars, the planet of action, makes a sextile with Saturn, the planet of making sure something gets manifest or bringing form and structure. And usually these two have a hard time with each other, but in this configuration, it's actually really good. So there's also this quality of determination and stamina and staying power that's connected to the new moon, which I love because we need to be determined when we're caretaking something or someone, right? As parents, as caregivers, we need that determination and we need that ability to be fierce and do the things that we need to do to make sure we protect what is vulnerable. And so there's that feeling also in the new moon. So that brings us back to the new moon. Anything. Make it little, make it easy. Begin something that you feel excited about, that you also feel like nourished and relaxed about, right? It's like, what is exciting and relaxing? Like, I don't want excited stress. I can't. The world is too much. Life is always up to too many things. I want to be ecstatic. I want to be excited, but in a grounded and relaxed and open kind of way. I don't need my system jacked. I don't want a cortisol spike. I don't want it. And this new moon is like, me either. Let's do something that's lovely and fostering a sense of being, again, hydrated, connected to the things that nurture and nourish us. So I hope that all of that and then some is all around your Friday and into Saturday and Sunday. Hey y'all, thank you so much for leaving us reviews in the App Store. I know that it takes your precious time and energy to do so, and it just makes the world of difference, both to our company, but also to our spirits. We read each and every review, and I wanted to share this one with you. It's called A Comfort Every Day. The first thing I do every morning is open my Chani app. It's the best thing that I can do to start my day. Chani and team offer so many inspiring ideas to navigate the astrological life we are all living. I find it comforting and uplifting to listen to the meditations, the podcast, and read all of the amazing insights into myself. I highly recommend this app. You can tell that there is a lot of heart and soul that goes into it. I hope you find comfort in it too. Next week, we've got Venus moving in to Leo, and things really start to heat up. There's a change next week, and the week after, we've got a Mars-Uranus conjunction. So everything's going to start to kind of kick up next week and into the week after that. So again, I really want us to double down on what it is that keeps us in a state of being refreshed and renewed and loved and hydrated and fully nourished and nurtured. Now, because we're talking about care and nourishment, I want you to know that if you are part of our community, if you are a subscriber to the app, 5% of our revenue, not our profits, our revenue goes directly to survivors of gender-based violence via cash grants distributed by Freefrom. You can check them out at freefrom.org. It's the organization that my wife and business partner, Sonia Passy, founded and also runs. So 5% of our revenue goes directly to survivors via cash grants because we believe in mutual aid and creating systems of care. And if you buy any physical product from us, know that it is packaged and sent via Gifted, which is a part of Freefrom. So everything that you make is being packed and shipped by survivors that are getting a living wage of $38.46 an hour. So there's that piece of it. And there's also things like the planetary candles that we sell on our website. Those are made, again, they're sold through Gifted, and those are made by survivors. Those are survivor made. They get 100% of the profits. We take no money. We keep no money from the planetary candles. We do design them. Our design team designs the candles, and our astrologers on our team pick the times for the folks that make those candles to pour them so that they're imbued with astrologically significant and auspicious energy. It's imbued with an astrological signature, but it's also a candle that is not for profit for us. So I just want you to know that you are part of something that is all about care when you do business with us, or when you're part of our community, or when you are a subscriber to the app. Please go listen to your reading because we talk about where this new moon is happening in your individual chart, which is so important. Where is Cancer in your chart? Tell me all about it. I want to know. I want to know what seeds you're planting. I want to know how you are reparenting yourself, because that's always what Cancer is trying to teach us. I'm sending you so much love, so many new moon blessings. In the Chani app, we've got guided meditation for this new moon, a ritual for this new moon, altar suggestions, journal prompts, all of it. Bye for now.